Punta naman tayo ngayon sa isang nanay. No? Sa isang nanay. Ay, Tita Edith, no po. Ayan, no po. Si Mrs. Edith Burgos, no po. Yeah. Matagal ko nang kakilala si Tita Edith. Nagulat ako na nakita kami ulit ngayon. Beauty pa rin siya, no? Kita nyo naman, no? Hindi kumukupas, no po. Si Tita Edith, no, is the mother of Jomar Burgos, who disappeared in 2007, no po. And up to now, we do not know, no, where he is, no po. So she's si Edith po, Tita Edith, has a doctorate in education, no po, and she is a member of the secular order of Discalced Carmelites. So Carmelites.
Meron po bandang Carmelites dito?
Meron din Carmelites, no po. And now, she is, because of her experience as a mother of enforced disappeared person, she has been elected president of the International Coalition Against Enforced Disappearances this year, no po.
Yes.
This year, no po. So, Tita Edith, you are with family here. Nandito po. Mahirap ito sa akin, ano po? Mahirap na
Baka gusto niyo po ako ang magtanong sa inyo.
Oo nga eh, parang nababaliktad, ano? Ba ako umiyak, kayo yata dapat umiyak. No? Pero, paano ho ba yan? Karanasan ng isang nanay.
Hindi po madali. Alam niyo po, Cardinal, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Hindi naman po ako umiiyak every minute, pero hindi ho madali ang maging nanay ng isang desaparecido. Sa Tagalog po ang tawag namin sa enforced disappearance, sa pilitang iwinala. At ang isang karakteristik po noon, ang nagwala ay state forces o kaya ahente ng gobyerno o di kaya pinayagan ng gobyerno na walain yung tao. Kaya kakaiba po. No? The question is, how does it feel to be a mother of a disappeared? Alam niyo po, Cardinal, the only way I can describe it is you are in a constant state of suspended anticipation. Parang hindi mo alam kung anong mangyayari. Makikita mo ba o hindi mo makikita? Totohanan ba ang hinaharap mo o hindi katotohanan? Kasi marami pong pinipresent sa amin na hindi naman katotohanan. Will you pray not only for the disappeared, but for the perpetrators? So, conflict po, ang hirap. I remember, it was a Saturday. Alam ni Cardinal, 5 na po ang anak ko. 10 po ang aking apo. Tuwing weekend, nandiyan sila sa amin para malibre yung dinner nila. Ako ang magluluto sa bahay.
Nanay at lola pa rin.
When Jonas was taken, it was a Saturday. Sabi niya, Ma'am, labas lang ako, meron lang akong kikitain. Mamayang gabi po yung pritsyon ko, ha? Lechon na pinirito. So sabi ko, sige, mamaya. And he kissed me sa forehead. Ganun siya nagpapaalam, hahalik dito. That was the last time I saw him. 18 years ago na po yun. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa namin alam kung ano talaga nangyari. Maraming nagsabing nakita siya, kinaladkad siya mula sa restaurant kung saan siya kumakain. Ang nakikita niyo po dyan sa litrato, yan po yung aking apo na anak ni Jonas. 2 years old nung kinuha si Jonas. Ngayon, she's already 20, first year college. Ganong katagal. Yung experience po namin ng mga desaparecidos, parang kakaiba po kasi you anticipate that you will find him kahit ho katawan na lang, kahit buto na lang, pero ang dasal mo is sana hindi siya. But when you see the tortured body, kasi ako po madalas pumunta kami sa probinsya, pag may nakitang katawan, sasabihin, Mrs. Burgos, baka si Jonas yon. Takbo kami ng anak ko, titignan namin. And when you see the body, you cannot even rejoice na hindi anak ko yon. Bakit? Because the body is concrete proof of the cruelty of other human beings. Makita mo, wala ng kuko, wala ng ngipin, luwa na yung mata, and all that. And you say, Lord, bakit ganito ka-cruel ang tao? Kayang gawin ito sa kapwa. But you cannot even condemn the perpetrator because you know, anak din sila ng Diyos. So, yun yung conflict na hindi madaling harapin. And Cardinal, you just mentioned I was elected president of the International Coalition Against Disappearances. Alam niyo po, that was farthest from my mind. Ako po, simple public school teacher. Eventually, I taught in other colleges. When I retired, nasa graduate school na po ako nagtuturo. Kaya simple lang po, mahiyain ako. Kaya hindi ko iniisip na mangyayari sa buhay ko ang ganun. But the International Coalition Against Enforced Disappearance has more than 40 members from different countries from all continents. So, parang yun i-coordinate. And all of them have stories of torture. Signs of hope. Yung una po namin ginawa, syempre ang option lang ng pamilya is to search for Jonas. April 28, 2007, 18 years. Lahat po ng legal remedies inavail ng Burgos family. The only option of a family of a disappeared is to find the disappeared or at least know the truth. Malaman mo man lang kaya siya kinuha kasi armed siya. But my son chose to be, he also studied in San Beda. He wanted to be a priest. Ako, tuwan-tuwa po ako kasi ako nung bata, gusto ko pong maging Carmelite nun sa loob po ng monasteryo. But my father said, sa lahat naman ng kongregasyon, ba't yan ang gusto mo? Walang mga silbi yan, nakaluhod lang, dasal lang ng dasal. Ganun po noon panahon, di ba? And since I was the eldest girl, I had to take care of my younger brothers. Wala namang mga katulong noon. So, I was very happy when Jonas said he wanted to be a priest. He went to San Carlos, San Jose, and he stayed only for 2 months. Nung umuwi sa bahay, bigla na lang dumating, sabi niya, Mami, umuwi na po ako. Bakit? Mamamatay po ako sa gutom doon. Pero iba na po ang seminaryo ngayon. Ano po?
Ngayon ho, pumapasok para kumain.
Si Jonas po, pumunta sa San Beda. Ay sabi ko, may pag-asa pa, pwedeng bumalik. Pero na-organize siya, and namulat. Then he said, ang pinakakawawa pala sa sektor sa Pilipinas ay mga magsasaka. So, Mommy, I will shift. I'll take up agriculture so I can serve. And he graduated with honors. So, ano yun, agriculture. And he started teaching farmers around our farm. Meron po kaming bukid, doon ako nakatira ngayon. And he would teach them the organic way of planting rice, mga triple root stacking ng mga mangga, and all that. And dahil, sabi ng mga sundalo sa kampong katabi namin, Camp Texon, ay nako, anak ito na may impluensya. Kasi ang tatay niya kahit papaano may impluensya dahil publisher ng V-Forum Malaya. Ba't niya pinili maging magsasaka? Conclusion, NPA yan, komunista. So he was labeled. And we think that that was the reason why he was taken. Of course, he organized farmers, he helped and all that. Pero po si Jonas, 5 years old pa lang po, ang pagkain niya sa lamesa, dadali niya sa kapitbahay. Ibibigay niya kasi yung kapitbahay namin hindi pa nakatikim ng pork chop. uuwi siya yung pagkain ng kapitbahay ang dala niya. Sasabihin niya, masarap pala yung maitim na sabaw. Toyo. 5 years old pa lang yan. 10 years old or earlier, lahat ng dumadaan na ambulant vendors, magtataho, tinapadaing, aabangan niya yan. Manong, butas ng tsinelas mo, palitan ko. Kukunin niya tsinelas ng daddy niya, ipapalit doon. Pagdating ng tatay niya, lagot. Ako ang pagagalitan. And he would always say, di po ba, sabi talaga ni Mami, kung sino ang may kulang, dagdagan. So that was how he grew up. When he was a farmer, he would always come home naked, wala na yung t-shirt, signature t-shirt galing New York sa lola niya. Pag sinabi ko, saan na naman shirt, ba't ka na ubad? Kawawa naman si Kataling doon, walang damit eh. Iniwan na. That was how he was. So, nung winala siya, sa pilitan dinukot, inisip ko, ano ang dapat kong isipin para maipaglaban ko ang anak ko? So I went through a process of introspection. Ano ang motibasyon ng anak ko when he did all these things, help farmers, maybe he joined the underground movement, ay hindi ko ma-confirm yun. Maybe he was a member of this violent or rebellious group. But I knew that his motivation was love. He loved those who were oppressed, yung may kulang. Knowing that, only a mother can know the heart of a son, naisip ko din, kung ang memory ng anak ko ay dapat hindi mawala, I should also be motivated by love. So, that helped me occupy a higher moral level. Kaya kaya ko pong makipagsabayan sa mga general na may mga butones-butones dyan. Kaya ko din humarap sa mga urban poor kasi alam ko kasama ko sila. By knowing your motivation, it is easier for you to deal with others. And sabi ko, syempre, hustisya. Ang galing ko na po magganyan. Dati, sabi nila, when your fingers are closed, you cannot give, you cannot receive. Dapat daw ganon. Pero para sa akin, it's a way of convincing myself that I am doing the right thing. And for me, the way I live now is the way that the Lord has brought. Nguyen said, Henry Nguyen, my favorite inspirational, that the will of God can be seen in the people He puts across your path and in the circumstances of your life. Ako po dinala sa komunidad ng mga victims of human rights. Do you know the case of Sherlyn and Karen, the 2 UP students who were disappeared? The witness that resulted in the conviction of a general and 2 other officers, he was able to witness to say that these 2 girls were tortured by these soldiers. Then later on, siya din pala kasi dinisappear. 18 months siyang dinorture. Flogged every day with barbed wire, fed bones while he was caged inside a cage of dogs for 18 months, and virtual slave in the farm of a general. But when he filed a case of illegal detention, he lost the case. So I was there during the promulgation, and he was hysterical. But I was able to calm him down just by hugging him. The mothers of the 2 UP students learned about the torture their children underwent, and I was asked to be present just to hold their hands. So, we are sent to these circumstances because there is something good that you can do to find something good in what's happening. Hindi po madali ang makausap po ang mga biktima ng sakit ng pagkawala. But because I was sent there, maybe the Lord thinks that there's something that I can do for them. The signs of hope. Alam niyo yung lahat ng legal processes, they were not successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Jonas was abducted. The Philippine Army was ordered to release him. Wala naman pong compliance and nobody has been punished or cited in contempt. The rules, the laws in the Philippines do not work unless the institutions cooperate. The people who are supposed to protect us, ang perception ko, yung pag naka-uniforme, mas natatakot po ako kasi sa amin, sila yung persecutors. But on the parallel, we have a Cardinal Tagle, whom I did not know from Adam. When I went to his office in Cavite to look for my son in the camp, sabi niya, hintayin niyo ako, magmimisa lang ako. After the Mass, he accompanied me to the camp para makapasok. That was the first time I met the Cardinal. Hindi niya po ako kilala, but he accompanied me. So on the parallel, the Lord is so present in the people who help you. There are nuns. Right now, I have a perjury case filed against me by General Esperon because we filed a petition for the writ of amparo to protect the human rights defenders in the Visayas and Mindanao. Dahil ganon, ang retaliation nila, nag-file sila ng case against us, a group of perjury. Again, on the parallel, we have lawyers who offer their help for free. We have nuns, mga madre po ang kasama kong bodyguard, mga madre po ang mga kasama kong tuloy-tuloy na lumalakad. So now, yes, I am a mother of a desaparecido, but I am also a mother who loves. So, marami pong institutions and people who will cause you to lose hope. But then again, the Lord provides him. His presence is felt to the family through people like Miss Jessica who exposes and the witnessing of LA here. So, okay na rin, balansa na po ang buhay po. And if I am taken, okay lang po because we welcome death because that's the time we will see God.
Yes, wow. Ako,